All right, so this is the beginning of episode 17. 17, we're going to be getting into some of those potions that we made earlier. We're going to actually start using those and having a little bit of a more practical application for them. So, if you remember from the last episode, we made a couple of these potions down here that were going to be called the Splash Potion of Weaknesses. Okay, so we have a couple of those, and we have what's called golden apples. The same way that we made the glistening melon and the same way that we made the golden carrot, we're going to basically do the same thing with that. You just take one apple and you surround it by golden nuggets. Actually, I believe that these are golden ingots instead. So just an example. Like I said, we'll bring it over to the crafting table. We'll make a golden apple real quick. All right. So now what we have to do is we have to find what's called a zombie villager. Okay. Now, unfortunately, zombies typically only spawn when? Nighttime. So we'll have to wait for nightfall to come, but it doesn't look like it's too far away. In the meantime, I will show you something that we have over here, which is our pink sheep that we found. Those spawning are super, super rare. So the fact that I found one, I immediately took a lasso and I posted it up here. And we went and got a name tag and named it Pinky, just because I believe that's the most appropriate name for it. So, in the meantime, let's just wait for it to turn into night, and we'll get back with you.
Hey, big guy. Sun's getting real low.
All right. So now we have nightfall. It's coming down. So we should be able to start seeing some of the skeletons and zombies spawn in. And like I said, what we're looking for is what's called zombie villagers. So what we'll do is we'll just go around and start killing every animal that we see. And that way we can make room for anybody else to spawn in that wants to. Hopefully those zombie villagers. There's a zombie villager right there. Alright. So we'll make sure we kill all these guys. And you'll notice, like, just depending on the area that these zombie villagers spawn in at, sometimes they'll be dressed a little different. That's just because of the biome that they're in. So that's completely normal for them to look a little bit different everywhere you go. Alright, creeper's finally dead. Alright, so that guy right here, he's all by himself. He's a zombie villager. Let's see if there's anybody else around here. Nope, looks like it's just him. And we're doing our very best not to hurt him at all, because we want him alive. Ow! Ow! Well, he hit us a couple times, which is fine. We do have Thorns 3 on, though, so... He did take a little damage there. And I stuttered a little bit too, but that's alright. So, I can show you how to do this with one zombie, which is fine. But sometimes they'll spawn in groups of 3, which is kind of what I was hoping for, but... just for the purpose of the video, it's going to work the same exact way. So, I can show you what we're going to do with the one. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to bring him over by the house a little bit. Alright, so here's what we're going to do, okay? We kind of have the zombie villager close to our bed area, so I'm going to build up 3 blocks, okay? And I'm going to do my best to try to trap him as best as I can. Okay, no worries. He knocked us down a little bit. Alright. So basically all we're doing is we're going to try to get him trapped into a box. So whether that needs to be done... We don't want that one there. So, like I said, all we're trying to do is pin him in here. Come on. Come this way. Come on, you know you want to hit me. Come on, come this way. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. We want to make sure that he can't reach us. So, come on. Yeah, come this way, come this way. Come on. You can make it through there. Sweet. Alright, cool. So we need to place that last block right there. And so now we know he is completely trapped in this box. Alright. So what we're going to do with him now is, we know that he won't be able to get out anywhere else around here. So we'll put this down here. We know we don't need that block here. Because he's too tall, meaning 2 blocks tall, we know that he can't get out if we break the bottom one. So that one's a safe one to break. Okay. We also know that because of that, we can break out these, and he still won't be able to get out. So here's what we're going to do with this little guy here. Alright. We know that we don't need this block, and we know that we don't need this block, or even this block. Okay? So just like that, we know that this guy is stuck. Okay? We could take it even a step further if we want to, which, like I said, I'll just show you for fun. We could put a bucket of water so we know he's going to flow that direction, right? Then what we can do is quickly remove our water and place a block. Oh, he's a little bit too quick. So here's what we'll do. We'll just place the block right there anyways. Alright, and now we can even cut it down even smaller. And just like that, we know that he's going to be completely covered. So what we'll do is, now that we don't want any other monsters spawning around us while we're doing this, so what we'll do is, we'll come over this direction, and we'll go to sleep real quick. So we know that the zombie's not going to burn, because he has the 1 block above him, so that's going to protect him from the sun. So here's our little random zombie friend, right? Make sure to close our door. Okay. Hello, Mr. Zombie. So here's, oh, there's some XP over here we're going to pick up real quick. Alright. So here's what we're going to do with our little zombie villager friend. Okay. We're going to take out our potion of weakness that we made earlier. Now remember, we added gunpowder to it, so it is actually a splash potion. So whenever we throw it, anybody within that affected area is going to be affected by this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get one of these out. We're going to get out our golden apples. Okay. As soon as this guy is affected by this splash potion of weakness, we'll go ahead and throw it. You're going to see that he has those little like fuzzies all around him, as do we. Well, now we can walk up and you can see the bottom right corner says cure. We have our golden apple out. We can give it to him. You're going to hear this weird sound. And now all we have to do is wait. Instead of it being the splash potion now effect that we have, the weakness that we have for another 12 seconds, his little circles are these little red circles now. And so basically what's happened is he's being cured from a regular zombie, a villager, back into a villager. So we're going to basically make him come alive again. Now, we haven't really got too much into explaining villagers or anything like that, but villagers are just little NPCs, little non-playable characters that walk around villages for the most part. And most of ours died off somehow. I don't know how that happened in our village that we started with, but whenever you talk to them, you'll have the ability to trade with them. So the way that you trade with them is with the little green emeralds that we found quite a few of already. And typically they'll have pretty good trades, just depending on their profession. The professions of zombies are dictated by those little boxes that's like blacksmith table, by like a smoker, by like an anvil, you know. Those little items that you drop down near the villagers, those little workstations that they have, are going to dictate what the villager is going to be. Unless the villager is wearing a green jacket, in which case they're called nitwits, and all they do is they sleep and they walk around. They don't ever have a profession. But just depending on the profession that the villager has, dictates what they're actually going to be able to trade to you. So there are ways to change those, but that'll probably be a later episode. But for today, we're just learning how to make these villagers, or cure them rather. So we can talk to this guy right here, and it doesn't look like he has a profession. Maybe we can't talk to him. But this villager, like I said, he is now an actual villager again. So typically you would get an achievement. I don't know how to check that, honestly. Zombie doctor. So cure a zombie villager right here, this achievement. Like I said, we already have the achievement, but as you can see, I got it on January 2nd of this year. So this is basically how you would get that achievement, and as a reward in Bedrock you would actually get the Plague Doctor mask, which is just a little mask with an emerald on top of it. Alright, and like I said, I don't think he's a nitwit, but for some reason I can't trade with him, so let me see if I need to put a table down for him or something. So basically, like I said, we know that he's still stuck here. So what I'll do is I'll place this here. And I will place a lectern here. You typically want your little profession workstations next to the villagers. So boom, just like that, he turned into a librarian. Because he didn't have a profession assigned to him. Which is fine. It's not really what we want from a librarian, if I'm being honest. He doesn't really have very many good trades, but we'll try to fix that up and see what he'll give us. Oh, he does sell a book now. Let's take another look and see what he'd give us. Come on, give me some good. Still a bookshelf, huh? Not giving us any love. And now the sheep wants to walk up next to us. Poof. Fire aspect 1. We don't want that. Nothing. So like you're seeing, I can just keep placing this lectern down, and as long as I don't buy anything from him, he's not going to be locked into that trade. So efficiency 2 is not bad. So he won't be locked into it. So every time that I break the lectern and I put it back down, he's going to come up with a different trade for me. So, but once you actually get your emeralds out and you make that trade, he gets stuck selling you the same thing. So you really want to make sure that it's something that you want before you actually commit to keeping him there and making him trade those things. So. Now, nighttime is coming up, so what we're going to do is take a quick little break with this. And what we'll do is we'll completely box this guy in. Because what we don't want to happen is for a zombie to come up and hit him, potentially killing him or making him into a zombie again. So now that he's completely protected, we'll go ahead and sleep real quick. I left the door open, but it's not even nightfall yet, so. Alright, we'll pick that back up. The reason that I'm picking the bed back up is because he's the only villager in the area. He's going to get assigned to the closest bed, so he's actually would be assigned to my bed. And I can show you what that means in just a second here. Alright, so we placed the bed down right next to him. You see how that started turning green and that has little green around it? So now he's going to always go to that bed during nighttime. Which is more than okay with me. He's allowed to sleep. Why not? Alright, cool. So in the meantime, we can keep sitting here trying to get a good profession out of him. Well, a good trade, rather. We know what profession he's going to be. He's going to be a librarian, but...
One eternity later.
Okay, after about 31 minutes of recording, we have what we want. A mending book. And it's sold for the low price of 34 emeralds. And 1 book. So we'll come up here and we'll buy this. And we'll buy this. And just like that, we've got 2 mending books. These were the same books that we took 3 hours to try to get one of on the last episode and the episode before that. Yeah, now we can actually buy them from this villager, which is just going to be amazing. Most of the things, like I said, we already have mending on, but what I did want to work on was getting a better sword, because smite is going to work great for certain mobs, your skeletons, anything undead, even if we try to do a wither fight soon. But honestly, I want all around damage, so I want sharpness on it instead. So I do want to make a new sword, and I could even make a trident at this point. just so you guys can see what the tridents are all about too. So now that we have the mending book, we don't have to worry about them breaking. So let's see how many diamonds we have left. And now we're down to 7 emeralds though. But the same way that we just traded with him, we can actually get emeralds from him, and I'll show you that real quick. This originally wasn't going to turn into an all villager episode, but since we got mending from it, we'll go ahead and do some things real quick. Alright, so just like we talked about before, the way that we can get emeralds back to try to make these trades a more feasible thing, because honestly 34 emeralds is pretty expensive. We can actually go back and we can give him paper. 24 paper, he's going to give us 1 emerald. Okay, so just like that, we already have another extra 1 emerald. So remember how we made paper was we used sugarcane. Well, it just so happens we have a whole sugarcane farm over here. So what we can do is we can come over here and clear this out. And just like that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pretty much 6 1/4 stacks of sugarcane. So what we can do is we can come back over here. We can make all of that sugarcane into paper. Just right here. Oh, I hit the sugar button. Oops. That's not good. I accidentally made 2 stacks of sugar on accident. So we'll go ahead and drop this sugar off, and we'll grab the rest of the sugar cane that we have here. And we'll try to redo that. Okay, so make sure it's labeled over paper. There we go. Okay. So now that we have all this paper, we can bring it back to our villager real quick. And we can just start making some trades. Alright, so what happened is we just ran out of trades for this villager. So basically we used it so much that he ran out of inventory. So because he's next to his station, his workstation, and he's next to his bed, he'll actually be able to get those back. Like, he'll be able to restock within the next 2 days probably. So we don't have to get rid of him, anything like that. He just will be out of inventory for a little while. So, alright. And since we have books of plenty right now, we're going to come up here and we're going to start trading. Sweet. And just like that, we can buy multi-shot. Multi-shot's not very good enchant. It's for a crossbow, which is something that we don't really ever use anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But ink sacs. I think we have a couple ink sacs. And ink sacs are found from the squid that we've killed all around. So 1, 2, 3. So just like that, we're almost up to another trade. I bet we can top this off with a couple of books. And sweet. So book and quill is what the next trade's going to be. And then we can buy a clock for 5 emeralds, which we really don't need a clock. All we have to do is look outside. It's almost nighttime. Good. See, just like that. Clocks are useless. Alright. So he actually has these back in stock now, but now it's 43 paper for 1 emerald. So a little pricey, but that's okay. But ultimately, his master trade is going to be name tags, but we've got plenty of name tags, so it's not something that we really want to buy from him. Like I said, most importantly, I wanted to show you the whole mending sequence. So now that we have that, here's what we're going to do. We are going to try to make a better... Oh, I have sound. There we go, okay. We're going to try to make a better sword. Not to say that ours isn't good. Like I said, we just want the sharpness on it instead of the smite. So, since we have all of our lapis lazuli and our diamonds... Oh, we'll need wood to make the handles. I think the wood is over here. Yeah. Okay. And we won't need any more than 8. I don't think so. We'll come over this way real quick. And we'll pop over at the... we probably need more enchantment points, don't we? I'm gonna grind for some levels first, and then I'll do it. All right, 57 levels should be enough. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down to our enchantment table. Close our door behind us. All right, and we're gonna make a couple swords. By a couple, let's do 3. So we'll make a few swords instead. So 1, 2, 3. And what we're gonna be doing basically is making this exact same sword that we have, but instead of smite, we want sharpness. So we still want the fire aspect too. We still want the looting. We still want the unbreaking. We want the mending, obviously. The mending we brought with us in the book form because we can't get it from the enchantment table. So let's go ahead and see what our first drop will be. Fire aspect 2 and smite 4. See, it's really trying to push the smite on us. We just don't want it. Bane of arthropods. Poop. All right, and sharpness 3. Okay, so sharpness 3 is something that we want. In the worst case scenario, we could always just upgrade it. Or not upgrade it, I'm sorry. We could always use another sharpness to make it into a sharpness 4, and then sharpness 4 to a sharpness 5. So, Bane of arthropods we don't want in our lives. We don't need help killing spiders. We can kill spiders one-hit anyways. And we'll also get rid of the fire aspect 2 and the smite 2. And here's what we'll do. We'll go in and we'll try to re-enchant them. Unbreaking 3 is something that we need, and looting 3 is something that we want as well. So we'll keep that sword and Bane of arthropods. Because I don't want to waste any levels, I know that I'm going to get sharpness and Bane of arthropods because they're mutually exclusive to each other. So what I'll do is I'll just waste 1 enchantment point by using that. Or I could try to see what the book has in store. Lure 2. No. So what we'll do is we'll just throw this in here with 1. So now we know we got Bane of arthropods from it. And what we'll do is we'll just throw that and disenchant it again. So let's try it again. Fire aspect 2. Still something that we need. So let's throw it up there. Hopefully we can get some sharpness. Nope. Okay. So still no good on the sharpness. So here's what we'll do. We'll come back up here. Fire aspect. And you know what? We are going to get rid of the sharpness 3. And we're just going to try to roll the dice and get sharpness 4 or better. Looting we already have. Dang it. And let's try this. Bane of arthropods again. Ugh. Terrible. We're going to have to break down some more lapis. We have plenty, so we're not worried about that. And since we know it's going to be Bane of arthropods again, let's try to put a book up here, see if we get anything good. Feather falling. Nope, we don't want that. Alright, cool. So we'll throw this up here. I just did the complete wrong thing. That's okay. Alright, so we'll go disenchant them again. We already have looting, yes. Okay. That one. Knockback 2 is not terrible. Like I said, I don't think we wanted that in our lives, though. Sharpness 4. Whew! Alright, we're going to make sure we make that one. And if we can get another sharpness 4. Nope, Bane of arthropods. Boo. Alright. Not going to waste our enchantment levels. We only have 1 enchantment left before we have to go back upstairs and grind for some more XP. But that's okay, because right now we're looking at Unbreaking 3, Looting 3, and Sharpness 4. So if we look at it, we know we have Unbreaking and Looting, and then we have Sharpness. So we'll still need Fire Aspect, and then we always have the Mending Book. So, like I said, if we want to put Knockback on the sword, we can, but it's not completely necessary. Oh, don't need that. Knockback 2, let's see, sharpness? No sharpness on it. Okay, so we'll have to go back upstairs and grind for a little bit more, which is okay. Well, not a problem. Matter of fact, we could have a big storage up here anyways, but oh, we do. Alright, just while we've been down there. Just while we've been down there, we got an extra 2 levels, so we're actually looking pretty good. So we can go down there and try to enchant something else. Alright, cool. Let's see. We want to keep that one. We want to keep that one. Let's go ahead and try to get something better from this one. Come on, sharpness 4, looting 2. Nope, just looting 2. Boo. Alright. No worries. Alright. Back to the old XP grind. I'll just do a flash sequence and I'll come back to it. Already 28. Alright. We have plenty of levels again. So what we'll do is we'll come down here real quick. And continue. Nope. Looting 2. Crap. Unbreaking. Bane of Arthropods. No, not what we want in our lives. Boo, boo, boo. Alright. Get rid of it again. Unbreaking. No, that's it. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Make our lives a little bit easier. We're going to make an extra sword. We still have a few diamonds left over, so that's fine. Alright, we'll get rid of the unbreaking from this one. This way we can enchant 2 at a time. Fire aspect we have already. Let's see. Smite 4. No. Looting 3. Sharpness 4. Okay, cool. So here's what we'll do. We'll take our unbreaking and looting 3 sword, and we're going to put it in with this sharpness. So now we have sharpness 4 on it, right? So then we'll take the sharpness 4, add it with another sharpness 4 to make sharpness 5. Alright. So the sharpness 5 book that we have, what else do we need on it? So we know we have unbreaking 3, we have looting 3, and sharpness 5. So we'll still need fire aspect? Yes. So we're still going to need fire aspect on it, and then we're going to need the mending on it to complete it for the 5 enchantments to match this one. The other thing that we could put on this particular sword is the knockback, which, again, it's not super important. I don't prefer to have it just because there's a lot of ranged people in this. So when you hit somebody, they can go backwards. They could have another chance of hitting you. So, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the knockback, but we have the with the fire aspect here. So here's what we'll do. We'll add the unbreaking 3, looting 3, sharpness 5. It's not going to take over because sharpness 5 is stronger. It's not going to use the smite, and we'll get the fire aspect 2 from it. So this is going to cost us 11 enchantment points, but completely worth it, right? And then we'll take this and add our mending book to it. And just like that, we now have a pretty much the same exact sword from here. We have it, but just with sharpness. So just for an example as to what that's going to do now, instead of our smite book, we'll come out here and pretty much everything that we're going to hit now is going to be one shot. One shot. So let's see if these are one shot. They're not. Okay. But that's fine, because honestly, with the skeletons, we have the smite book, which smite does more damage. So we'll come up here. And we'll hit him with that smite. So we know smite's going to kill them one shot. But now we'll do more damage against creepers. So instead of taking 3 hits, now they only take 2. So instead of having to back up and hit them now, if we run straight onto a creeper, like we'll try to do on this guy, we'll just push right into him. And because he doesn't have the knockback on the sword, he's not going to go flying backwards either. So we'll be able to get the 2 shots off on it before he can explode. So again, people will swear by knockback. I'm not a huge fan of it. And just like that, 2-shotting a spider now instead of 3 shots from the smite sword. Yeah. I like this sword a lot. I like this sword a whole lot now. Alright, and we'll switch over to our smite sword for this guy. Nice. Alright. Just because of the time's sake, we're going to wrap this up. This is going to be episode 17. Episode 18, I'm actually going to try to get into more of the mining aspect for the newest update. I know that there's copper in the game. There's going to be raw iron and stuff that we're going to see. So from what I've seen on the updates and stuff, the pickaxe that we have with fortune on it is actually going to be better now, because instead of just dropping the iron ore like we used to when we had to smelt it to get the iron, apparently now you'll pick up iron, raw iron, which you can get multiples of. So Fortnite is actually going to, or not Fortnite, oh my gosh. Fortune is going to be usable now on our pickaxe. So we'll get into that next episode. We'll try to find some of the more newer stuff that came from the update. Other than that, if I went everything too quickly or anything like that, I know this was a little bit confusing with the zombie villages and stuff. But if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, just leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll try to get to them best as I can. And with that, episode 17. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the love, likes, subscribes, all the good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Hello. Huh? Okay, that's fine. That's my wife. I say my wife. She's sneaky.